In this lesson, we're going to learn how to add and subtract matrices. In Chapter 3-6, you learn how to solve systems of equations using matrices. Well, matrices can be used to represent all kinds of data, not just equations. In Chapter 12, we're going to learn how to add, subtract, and multiply matrices, as well as how to solve matrix equations. So let's get started. The dimensions of a matrix are determined by the number of rows and the number of columns of a matrix. So if we take a look at matrix A right here, we have 1 row, 2 row, 3 rows. This matrix has 3 rows. How many columns does it have? 1 column, 2 columns. So it's a 3 by 2 matrix. This column right here also has 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows. And it has 1 column, 2 columns, so it is also a 3 by 2 matrix. This matrix right here has 1 row, 2 rows, but it has 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 3 columns. So it is a 2 by 3 matrix. And our last matrix, D, has 1 row, 2 rows, and it has 1, 2, 3 columns. So it is also a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, here's your notes section. So this is where you should pause your video and open up your notebook and take some notes. When adding or subtracting matrices, they have to have the same exact dimensions. If they don't have the same dimensions, you can't add them. So for instance, you can add matrix A and B, but you cannot add matrix A and C. Their dimensions aren't exactly the same. When you do add matrices of the same size, you add or subtract their corresponding elements. So for instance, if we were going to add matrix A and B, we would add element -12 to -3. Next, we would add 24 to 1. So let's go ahead and do an example. Let's start off with adding 2 matrices. We'll add C plus D. How do you add C plus D? You add your corresponding elements. So the first numbers that we're going to add are going to be 3 and 1. And you write 3 plus 1. The next elements that you add are going to be 2 from matrix C and 4 from matrix D. The next one's going to be 4 and 3. You can see how these elements are corresponding elements. They're in the same location. The next one is going to be -1 and -2. The next one is going to be 4 and 2. And the last one, 0 and 4. To get our answer, all you do is you simplify the numbers that you have added. 3 and 1 is 4. 2 and 4 is 6. 4 and 3 is 7. -1 and -2 is a -3. 4 and 2 is 6. 0 and 4 is 4. So C plus D equals this matrix right here. How do you subtract matrices? You do the same thing, except instead of adding corresponding elements, you will subtract corresponding elements. So to find out what C minus D is, you would take corresponding elements and subtract them. C minus the element in D. So instead of 3 plus 1, it's 3 minus 1. 2 minus 4. 4 minus 3. You must be careful about the order. You must take the element from matrix C and subtract from it the element from matrix D. Oops, I think I did something wrong there. That needs to be a subtract. So we'll go ahead and subtract that. 4 minus 2 and 0 minus 4. Our resulting matrix will be 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 minus 4 is a -2. 4 minus 3 is 1. -1 minus -2 is a +1. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 0 minus 4 is a -4. And that is how you add or subtract matrices. Now on your own, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to add matrix A to matrix B. and then subtract matrix B from matrix A. So I'd like you to figure out these on your own. Please bring your answers to class tomorrow so that we can check and make sure the results are good. I will be checking notes, so you should have all these examples written in your notes as well as the notes section right here.